Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the Cycling Day in Extra channel as we continue our voyage through the Vuelta España 2025. After the second rest day, the Vuelta returns with a stage that wastes no time reminding the riders of its relentless nature. Stage 16, stretching from Poio on Spain's rugged west coast to the summit of Castro de Herville, is 167.9 kilometers long of punishing uneven terrain with close to 3,500 meters of climbing. It's a stage of attrition with scarcely a flat stretch to be found, and a finale that promises fireworks in the general classification, hopefully. Before we start as well, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and with that out of the way, let's return to stage 16. The day opens relatively gentle, though gentle is a relative term at this point in the Vuelta. For the first 74 kilometers, the riders weave inland, rolling through undulating countryside without any major test really. Some few bumps here and there, but nothing too taxing, and definitely no categorized climbs. The first significant obstacle comes in the form of the Alto de San Antonino, a steady 9 kilometers at 4%. It's the sort of climb that rarely decides anything but always leaves its mark, taking a slow tax on the legs. By the time the peloton crests the summit, they're almost halfway through the stage, but the true difficulties are still to come. The second half is where the stage reveals its teeth. First comes the Alto de Cobra, a demanding 11.3 kilometer climb, averaging 5.4%. The gradient is uneven, front-loaded with the hardest part in its opening 5 kilometers sitting at 6.6%, a section that will immediately sort the strongest riders from the rest, and if there is a breakaway, there may be a bit of a shuffle going on here to try and weed out the weaker riders. A rapid technical descent follows, but even here, the road never truly relents, broken up by the short, sharp hill kicks that sap momentum and morale. From the valley, the route rises again on a 3.2 kilometer ramp at 6.9%, a stinger that feels cruelly placed before another twisting 7 kilometer descent. At the foot lies the next major challenge of the day, the Alto de Prado, taking the riders up to 439 meters in elevation. At just 4.3 kilometers long, it may seem brief, but it averages a staggering 8.8%, making it a brutal launch pad potentially. With just over 23 kilometers to go from the summit, the climb offers a natural springboard for attackers, whether it being from a breakaway or it being from the GC contenders trying to prize open time gaps and force weaker riders to drop completely. Adding to its importance, the Prado carries bonus seconds at the top at 6, 4, and 2, which could tempt favorites into early action, but judging how this Melissa bike have conducted themselves over the last few GC stages, we could potentially see a very big breakaway sweeping those up. From there, the road trends downhill, but even the descent is punctuated by yet another obstacle, a 1.7 kilometer ramp at 6.4%. It's a reminder that on this stage, recovery is always fleeting. The descent continues towards Mos, a town with a deep cycling connection. It's the birthplace of Oscar Pereiro, the 2006 Tour de France winner, albeit crowned after Floyd Landis's disqualification. It's fitting then that the decisive climb begins here up to the Castro de Herville. The final ascent is 8.2 kilometers at 5.2%, but its statistics hide the reality. The opening 3 kilometers bite at 8.6%, the steepest of the day, and it's here where the true damage will be done. Riders on the limit may crack early, while the strongest will see this as the perfect place to test their rivals. After that brutal opening, the gradients ease, but the climb never flattens out completely, twisting steadily towards the summit. The Castro de Herville is no stranger to drama. In 2021, it hosted a memorable finale when Clément Champignon stunned the favorites to take a breakthrough victory. That day, he timed his move to perfection, snatching glory on the same mountain where this year the script could again be rewritten in the final moments. The backdrop adds to the grandeur. Perched high above the summit, offers sweeping views over the Bay of Vigo, a place where beauty and suffering will intertwine. With 10, 6, and 4 seconds available awaiting the first 3 riders across the line, the fight for red could easily ignite here. Stage hunters will either break away, but after the rest day, maybe the GC contenders often come out swinging. The chances of the favorites taking control are certainly high. Stage 16 is not the longest day or stage of this year's tour, nor the steepest stage of the Vuelta, but its rhythm is unrelenting. There is no time to settle, no flat road to hide. From the Gorba to the Parado to the final grind up the Castro Castro de Herville. The day is a succession of body blows, each harder than the last. Only the strongest can respond. By the summit, the Vuelta will have reshuffled once again, potentially, whether it being through a daring breakaway or a GC ambush. The Castro de Herville is set to deliver another decisive moment, one that could echo the drama of 2021 and leave the red jersey either more secure or subtly vulnerable. But before we get into the predictions, we might as well hear what Patrick had to say about this stage in the previous show before the Vuelta started.
So the third week kicks off on stage 16 from Poio to Castro de Herville. This is 173 kilometers long, 3,400 meters of climbing. We've got multiple climbs in here, but none of them that big. Let's say we've got a Cat 3, a Cat 1, which is 11Ks at 5.4%. It's just up and down all day, and we finish with an 8.7K, 5.1% climb, but the first 3Ks are 8.6%. I just think that given that there's no big high altitude finish and the last climb not being outside of the first 3Ks being that difficult, I think this will likely be for the breakaway, but you will also see some GC action behind.
Obviously, with it coming right after the rest day, there's many questions that could be asked. Obviously, stage 15, we didn't have much of a GC battle. We had a bit of a GC battle going on the days before as well, on the Angliru and also the day after the Angliru, with Jonas Vingegaard and Joao Almeida somewhat trading blows. And maybe on this more short, sharp, punchy stage, we could see someone like, we've said it many times in these previews, but Tom Pidcock has that very responsive hit if he can do it. But we have seen the UAE member squad are absolutely incredible this year, so maybe they will do something. There's plenty of riders within their roster that haven't tasted a victory yet. They've already got 7 stage victories, so this could even be their 8th one as they continue to chase that record by HCC Colombia, and I'm sure that they will break that. In terms of other riders, a breakaway could maybe let go, and we've seen riders being let into the breakaway. Most notably, Egan Bernal was let into the stage 15 breakaway, so maybe we can see some riders who are not really in contention being let into the break and trying to get themselves further up in the low end of the GC. So who knows? Ciccone, I mean, if he was in full form, probably would have loved this kind of stage to try and win it, but who knows at this point. So many teams wanting a piece of the Vuelta España, so we'll see which team will be able to do it. Movistar, I'm still looking at you. I'm still trying to make the call, but yeah, Pablo Castillo, please help me out. Anyways, with that, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know down below who you think is going to win, and do you think maybe Vingegaard is going to be losing that red jersey. And of course, check out our recaps as well. We had a very good discussion on stage 14, and if you also want to see the video that we did of Geraint Thomas, how good was he really, who retired at the Tour of Britain. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you around.